what is up, guys? I hope you're all doing well. As you can see, I'm in a new streaming room again. If you see this room, know that I'm still in America. We just moved the PC downstairs to the shiny room because I'm going to start streaming a little bit of virtual reality as a variety game. We got a virtual reality Valve set, the Valve Index I think it's called. It's pretty good. So I'm going to play some scary Subnautica. I'm going to play Resident Evil maybe, if you really want me to die. And yeah, it's just going to be a lot of fun. We needed a little bit of space in order to record it, so yeah, the setup will have to do. So let's get back to Gwent, shall we? Alright, so this is another qualifiers list, one that quite a bit of people brought. There were different variations of this list, and I like the one we're looking at right now. So, let's start with this competitive list. This is a fruit of Isgith list, meaning that you can spawn one Garnicora fruit every turn that you don't already have one on your board at the start. So this will also have Thrive, meaning every time you play a card that's bigger than one, this will grow a little bit. So if it's 2, you have to play a 3 or a 4 or a 5, etc. You guys know this by now. Now, I'm going to start off with the card that is the newest, and it's kind of fun to play. It's Summoning Circle. So Summoning Circle has changed in some of the recent patches. What it does now is, you'll choose a unit from your deck and set the counter to that unit's provision cost. So let's say I decide that I want another Selfeater on the board. This is the most beautiful card art in the game. We all know this, right? Essentially, what we're going to do is we'll have a 6 counter because of the 6 provisions. Now, what that means is it's going to take 6 turns technically for that card to come out. But the only way the counter goes down is if there is a card to the left or to the right of Summoning Circle. If there's a card to the left of Summoning Circle, then that will go down 1 every turn. If there are 2 cards, one to the left, one to the right, that card will go down by 2 every turn. So it will go from 6 to 4 to 2 to 0, and then your card will pop up onto the board, which is pretty cool. Now, there are a lot of ways to manipulate this, which is really fun. You can use this for carryover. Obviously, in the competitive scene, a lot of players do. If you can pick the ideal moment to have carryover, then that's just brilliant, right? So this card has resilience, meaning it will stick on the board for the next round only. So if you want to, you can just play nothing next to Summoning Circle and it won't tick, because you do need a card next to it for the counter to go down. Yeah, take this into account. I'm still playing a lot with this myself. There's a lot of ways to abuse the card and I quite like it. So after that, we have our basic Golden Necker setup. Golden Necker meaning if your starting deck doesn't have any cards with a provision cost of 10 or more, which obviously we don't, you first play the top unit, then a special card, and then an artifact from your deck. So the special card, you'll have to make sure you have special cards in your deck when you play this. I mean, obviously a special card is anything with this fire symbol that isn't an actual card you play that sticks on the board. It vanishes the moment you use it. An artifact, we only have the Summoning Circle. You see here with the little, the goblet. That's an artifact. And our only other artifacts are the Megascopes. The Megascopes choose a bronze allied unit, and then at the end of this next turn, it will spawn a base copy of the card you picked to the right of the Megascope. So if you picked a Griffin, you're going to get a 9-point Griffin. If you picked Gun Cayenne, you're going to get a 5-point Gun Cayenne. Just remember that, because a card like Gun Cayenne increases its base power by 2 for each adjacent relic. So the fact that you're increasing your actual... My gosh, this card is horrifying, the sounds. So the fact that you're increasing the base power makes it seem like the card is now 9 points. And it is. It goes to your graveyard at 9 points. But the Megascope doesn't give you a 9-point Gun Cayenne. It gives you a 5-point Gun Cayenne, because it spawns a base copy, meaning the most original version. Alright, so next we have Erendite. You should know Erendite by now. Every turn you have more points on your side than your opponent. Erendite will grow by 1 point. You can play it more than once, so if it goes to your graveyard, it will go back to the top of your deck and you'll be able to use it the next turn. Erendite is, it's quite important that you remain ahead at all times. That's why this works in a monsters list, because monsters have a lot of tempo, so you can quickly get ahead if need be. Alright, so at its core, this is just the Fruits of Isgith list, meaning we like playing a lot of relics. So we like to start off with something like the Selfeater. Selfeater will grow every time you play a relic, and just ignore the art. Half of this unit's base power will be removed every time you click the order ability, and then it will spawn a copy of itself. So you want to wait until this is an even number, by the way, before you click it. Let's say you play a relic and the Selfeater grows to 6. Then you click the order ability and it will split into 2 3s. Now the reason you want to do that is because if you click it on 5, it will split into 2s and not 3s. It will round down. So you always sort of want to click it when it's on an even number and not an uneven number, just so you know. Obviously at the end of the round you want your whole board to be filled with Selfeaters ideally, and the relics will just keep on growing every time you play another relic. So another relic is Gankai which you play in between 2 relics, and it will be a 9-point card then. The other option we have is now the Witch Apprentice. If you have 25 points on 1 row or more, then at the end of your turn this card will boost itself by 2, which is quite nice, of course. We also have our 3 crones. So the Whispers will damage an enemy by 2, and it will increase the damage by 2 if you have already played a crone. It will increase it by 4 if you've played 2 crones. The others work exactly the same. So this can consume an allied unit only once. If you've played a crone before it, it can, a crone after it as well. The card has been changed. It will increase the number of charges to 2 or 3. Then we have the other one, which is Weavers. It will boost an allied unit by 2, or increase the boost for the crones you've played. Now these are all relics, meaning it will trigger all your Selfeaters to just keep on growing, which is great. Okay, so Ratcatcher is also a relic. You preferably want to play this after you have Sabbath, which is 25 points in a row. And whenever this card is damaged before Sabbath, it will reduce its base power by 1, meaning it will lose more than just 1 point. It will lose 2 points. So be careful with Ratcatcherus and when you play it. Now, those are all the relics except for Incubus. Incubus is an interesting card. You sort of have to wait before you use it. You first need something in your graveyard you want to resurrect. So this will summon a bronze unit from your opponent's graveyard, which you pick, and then you can summon a bronze unit of equal or less provisions from your graveyard. So if you want to specifically, let's say, resurrect a Selfeater, you're going to have to pick a 6 provision card from your opponent's graveyard. And some 6 provision cards are pretty good, so you have to be careful which one you pick. You preferably want to pick the worst card you can find at a certain provision. Those do exist, of course. Other than that, we have our Pallor, which we can use to purify a unit. We have a Griffin. Normally we start with the Griffin. We start by spawning 1 fruit of Isgith, and then we play Griffin, destroy the fruit of Isgith, and you have a 9-point Griffin. Griffin is also a great card to use with Megascope because you get a guaranteed 9-point card, which is not bad. Then we have Knickers, which will pop out of your deck at any moment. This is just to thin your deck so you have better chances of drawing your good gold cards. We also have Surinova. So Surinova will obviously work because of our provision costs in the deck. So she'll get Resilience, Shield, and Veil, meaning she'll stick into the next round. So not only do you have Suri for carryover, you also have Summoning Circle. You have 2 options essentially, which is quite cool. Okay, then we have a Roach to also help thin. Roach will come out the moment you play your first gold card. We have Naglfar for thinning, so this will look at the 2 random gold cards in your deck. You can play 1, and the other one will be put on top of your deck for the next round. Okay, and then lastly, we have our Toad Prince and Surrender. Toad Prince is just awesome. You can just consume a unit with 4 or less power. So you're probably going to be eating a card on your opponent's side. So you steal 4 points, you gain 4 points. That's 8 points plus 3 is 11 points. So it's not a bad card. And lastly, we have Surrender. Surrender is sort of relevant in the current meta. It usually plays for quite a bit if you time it right. It removes 2 armor from all units in a row and then damage them by 2. And that's just brilliant. So, I mean, if you have a row filled with cards, 9 cards that is, it's going to play for 18 points. So, I mean, that's not shabby at all. Feel free to remove it if you feel that Surrender has become irrelevant in the current meta. In the tournament, this was seen as quite a necessary card to include. I think it's still quite relevant. I think you won't regret having it in your deck. But yeah, other than that, this is the competitive Fruits of Esgoth list a lot of people have been playing on ladder. I hope you guys enjoy it. I will now show you 2 games where I played against other players, and I will be with you with another guide in 1 or 2 days. Mirror match. Alright, the ultimate showdown. That's what I'm talking about. Now we'll know once and for all if it's us or the list. I'm putting the headphones on so I can hear the music. Things are getting serious. Okay. Good, 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 good. Excellent. I mean, this hand feels pretty spot on, if I'm honest. Let's go. So it is of utmost importance that we stay ahead. At all costs, because they will be running Erendite, and we can't allow them to even get Erendite on their turn. They have a cool card back. What is that? Now see, if we did not boost this with a stratagem immediately, they would have gotten 1 point of Erendite. We can't allow that. There's obviously the small chance that they are playing Predatory Dive, but I hope they're playing the same list I am. Next up, I'm sure I can go with Selfeater.
They say you are what you eat.
Real gaming starts now with the headset, yes. Ugh. Smart. I could do that, or I could do this. Hell yeah.
I'm so damn tasty. It's a pity I can never finish.
Erendite required to have strictly more points than opponent to boost up with the same amount of boost. It doesn't work. I know what you're saying, yeah. I just mean that they will literally tempo ahead if they play even one card that is bigger than the one I played. Griffin was the biggest one to start off with for sure. But yeah, if you have the same amount of points, then dominance doesn't quite apply the same way it would normally. So the keyword dominance wouldn't be the correct word to use at all. Okay. Good. Now for some tempo.
When pigs fly, eh?
Now if they are running Surrender like I am, it's the perfect time to use it. Hey Sanchez, how are you? Hadn't you changed your streaming setup just a month ago? Hey Dancer, yes. That is one of the things I do now. I like changing my setup. Ring of Favor. Damn. Tell me you're going to pass without telling me you're going to pass.
They say you are what you eat.
Yeah, so we're essentially putting up a VR set, and this room has more space, so we took the PC downstairs for that. I mean, this is not a bad hand. VR Witcher? That doesn't exist. I looked. I would love to play VR Witcher. And hey, Defender. How is cards going? Passiflora tournaments? Doesn't exist yet? Oh, I would love for it to exist. I would give anything for that to happen. Can you imagine? Using a sword. Yeah, so this is a slightly different list, making me wonder if it's even all-out relics. They don't have enough relics for it to be all-out relics. My eyes look more blue. I mean, it's definitely all the lights in this room and the illumination. And the camera. The camera changes regularly. Sure. I will pick a Pallor. Don't need Pallor. Oh, I just played by accident. Well, you know what? It might... No, you come on.
Run while you're still able.
This is the perfect opportunity for Golden Kicker. Oh, what a horrible card to draw. I was actually just going for Air Knight. And Megascope, another horrible card. What was I going for? I was going for Summoning Circle, actually. That would have been some extra carryover. Maybe I play Naglfar next and get Summoning Circle and then opt out. I want to leave an engine on the board, so they have to work harder to catch up. Skellige VR. Cards is going fine. New balance patch coming and new event is live. Awesome. How's Gwent going? It's going. It's going. We're heading closer to the Opens, which is going to happen in July. So I'm excited for that. What am I getting? Damage an enemy by 2. How about we go with Naglfar? Shall we get carryover? Or shall we just go all in here? Why not? All in it is.
Wouldn't touch a hair on my head, she said.
Yes, Air Knight. Grow, my child. Grow. Playing Gwent in VR? Can you imagine with like your opponent sitting on the other side with their camera? Just showing horrible signs at each other? It would be like a real life open event. Hey Minetti. Oh no, they locked Brewers. Not Brewers. I could just Pallor, but I feel like that would just be for the memes at this point.
A witch's best friend is a pig, no doubt.
The Gwent Observer is not currently on because it was breaking Twitch for some reason. Like, multiple people had a white screen, so I had to take it off just for now, until I hope it's fixed. Okay. Fair, fair. How about... we do it in... No, they might have... They might have Surrey, so we need to be careful. And I'm gonna start playing things in the other row just in case. Dating Brewers in VR. My goodness, what an experience that would be. Num 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 num. Oh, I should probably purify thing from the box. Dating Surrey? Excuse me, good sir. Surrey is off limits.
Living souls in your wake should never forget your sake.
This is looking more like a 2-0, I'd say. Am I going to participate in the Gwent tournament? If I do participate, it will be as broadcaster, not as player.
Quick, move those hooves. It'll both be ham.
Alright, GG. Well played. Haha. Cheers. Another monsters matchup. Okay. Red coins, so Erendite's going to suffer. Petting knickers, VR. Suri's such a nice girl, she'd eventually forgive you. Suri is the best. Tell me you don't have proactive cards without telling me you don't have proactive cards. I feel like throwing something away, but that would be stupid. We'll do this and start off with a Selfeater.
Now watch this.
Now watch this. Whoa. Damn. Who would have seen that coming? I'll have to mega scope another one, you know. Have you seen The Boys? I did. It's amazing. Honestly, I love it so much. Ooh, somebody has a bricked hand. Somebody has the queen in hand. Must suck to be you.
Once you make a thing, no yellow, it's new.
Are you cold, human insect? It won't be long.
Wee, wee, wee.
In this, it's crucial not to lose your head.
This one can just keep growing for when we get it back with Incubus. Do you have nations in this game or something like this? No. That is a World War II card game right there. The Boys, it is a very good series. It's about superheroes, but very realistic. Meaning the superheroes aren't necessarily great people. They act like normal people who happen to have superpowers. So it's really, really good. At first I thought, not a superhero series. And then it turned out to be totally different. So the boys are the people who sort of want to take them down because they're not so great. That's all I'm gonna say basically, but it's exceptionally well done. Oh, you mean factions, Defender? Yeah, we have different factions. So I'm playing monsters, meaning I can play any monster cards or neutral cards. So that's the nation's sort of setup. Alright. I will play... Okay, I don't have Sabbath yet. Let's do this. Nice. Oh, Aerondites? Tiny Aerondites. Oh damn, wait, mine's just as tiny. How is that possible? How do we both have tiny Aerondites? That almost feels like it doesn't make sense logically. A 2 and a 4. Okay, I guess if 6 turns have passed. Sure, sure. That should do it. I like to see a frost deck. Ah, they have Griffin as well, I see. Alright, how about Witch Apprentice?
When pigs fly, eh?
Woo! Ah, Ring of Favor, no! That's cheating. Witch Apprentice? Witch Apprentice. I guess 3 gets me ahead, ironically. Go Aeronite! So if I go first, Aeronite's gonna be bigger. And there's cost of every card, you can play every card. No, you can only play 1 card a turn. If you want to update, you can look at my beginner video. It's quite compact, the first like 5 to 10 minutes. The rest of it is extra if you want to get into the game. I mean, this seems solid. Okay, I have 2 golds. Rat catchers will be quite nice. Yeah. I sort of want to bleed. I don't know. I don't want to give them a long round. I could always sort of pass then.
You to fight like this.
I could pass now. Again, Defender, if you check that video, basically in the first 5 minutes, I'll have explained the entirety of Gwent.
All else disgusts me.
Exactly the purpose, the points, how you win, how turns work, etc, etc. You should honestly give it a try. If you like cards, you like Gwent as well. Now, do I play Aeronite, which will keep on going, or Rat Catchers, which is already at 9? Rat Catchers. Because Because Ratcatchers is gonna allow me to stay ahead. So Aeronite keeps growing. Goal is to have fun, yes. Thanks Vlad. No, it's really just like information dump for the average player who just started. That was the goal, at least. Hell yeah. They did not have to use that leader ability. Thanks for the follow, Thumbelina. That's a cute name. Is your deck better in long round? I don't know, honestly. I'm not sure what they're running, to be precise. Yeah, this is cool. Okay, some of these are better. Maybe you get rid of Witch Apprentice. Yeah, that could work. Okay, so for Incubus, ideal card would be a 5 or a 6. Okay, let's see, what are we left with? Do I use Aeronite now? YOLO. GG. Alright, alright. Tempo, that's what I'm talking about.